Hey everyone, how's it going? AZREN here. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to another episode of What's New. Basically, this is something a little bit different that I'm testing out. Instead of doing vlogs, where I turn on the camera roughly once a week and talk about what's really new in my world, what's going on in my life that's very new and very interesting. So, number one, let's start with things that are LangFest related. LangFest, for those of you guys who don't know, who didn't see the last video, it's a conference in Montreal, Canada this year, from August 25th to August 27th that I'm going to be going to, and there are a bunch of updates with that. Number one, I've been given a discount code. So anyone who wants to go to LangFest, if you use a discount code AZREN, A-Z-R-E-N, you get an additional 33% off, which is pretty cool. I connected with Tetsu. Alright, was it Tetsu? Yes, I think it was Tetsu. I think that's his name. One of the organizers, and he's given me a discount code, which is pretty cool. Number two thing that is new, I've got a couple of my friends who are probably going to be coming to LangFest. It's not like fully locked in stone, but it's an option, right? I got a few friends who potentially will come, which is exciting for me because the more people we can get lined up who are coming, the cheaper we can get the tickets for, because there's discounts for buying tickets in bulk. And so I'll put it out to you guys too. If there is anyone who seriously is considering coming to LangFest and wants to look into that, it might make sense to purchase everything through me and have me purchase everything, and then you pay me because we can get a cheaper rate. So if it's something you're thinking about, send me a message on Instagram, Facebook, in the comments somewhere. Send me a message, reach out to me, and we can chat. So that's pretty exciting too. Also, LangFest related, I'm thinking about this. I haven't fully decided. So if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. I'm thinking about putting together some kind of contest or something where I actually pay for your LangFest ticket. So you need to obviously still be able to pay for your hotel or your hostel or your lodging. You need to be able to pay for your flight or however you're going to get there. You know, your food while you're in LangFest, all that stuff. But I'm thinking about putting a contest together where I pay for your ticket. So if you're someone who's like, I actually could afford the flight ticket, the food cost, the hotel cost, and want me to pay for your ticket. If you have any contest ideas, if you'd be interested in that, let me know in the comments and I'll mull it over some more. LangFest, final thing I'll say here is I've been trying to make sure that I'm preparing in advance to really make the most of my time in Montreal. And so one of the things I started doing is hitting up all the presenters and all the organizers to see if they'll just have a quick coffee with me, if I could chat with them at some point. Because like I said in the last like What's New video, where I feel like it's the networking that really opens doors for you in life, and it's networking that allows you to open doors for other people. And so I want to just meet different people while I'm there and just make some new friends. And so I thought the presenters and the organizers is a really good place to start. So I started to send some messages out to see if any of them want to sit down or if any of them are open to spending a little bit of time with me. So far, a few of them have said yes. So I think Shannon Kennedy said yes. She didn't know when, doesn't know her schedule, but she said we can probably carve out some time, which is pretty cool. Kirsten Cable, is it Kirsten Cable or Kirsten Cables? I can't remember anymore. Kirsten's agreed as well, but yeah, I think Tetsu is another one. So a few different people have said yes, which is pretty freaking cool. So those are all the things that are LangFest related. Let's talk about students. So students, things are going quite well. I've finally put together some group classes. I've been really putting a focus on doing more group classes with people. Number one, because I feel like it helps the students actually. I find that it's more enjoyable for students. I find that they can actually learn a lot more when it comes to specific elements of the language. So I've been trying to incorporate more group work. And it works out really well for me because when it's group work, I'll have every single student pay me a certain dollar amount per hour, and all of a sudden I can actually earn more in a single hour worked. And it's a problem I was trying to solve, right? Because I was thinking, if I do all one-on-one tutoring, my income in a year is capped, and it's capped at a point where it's actually quite low. It's not quite high enough for me to be able to sustain a family and all that stuff in the future. And so I'm trying to chip away and problem solve that, and this group stuff is starting to work, and it's starting to move forward, which is pretty freaking cool and pretty exciting for me. Also on the language learning front, the language learning side, man, I've been learning a lot about Spanish lately. There's been a lot of Spanish stuff that's been happening and French for that matter. French, Spanish, and Chinese, actually, all three of them. Because I keep making, I'll show you, you guys have seen this already, all these flashcards, right? And I keep adding new categories. So I did like Spanish travel vocab, and I've done, well, common Spanish verbs I know, but there's a lot of different categories I keep adding, and I find that when I make these new categories of flashcards, there's always lots of words that come up. I'll be like, holy moly, I thought I knew my travel vocabulary well, but I didn't know how to say, you know, for example, in my Spanish one, what was word? I mean, for example, I didn't actually know how to say, like, man, I can't remember. Let's just look through quickly. There's one. I didn't know how to say room service. I didn't know. I was like, how do you say room service? I don't know. And so I'm learning a lot of new words as I'm making these flashcards. And as I'm making these, it's making me wonder if I'm going to end up making some kind of resource, like a free textbook or something like that, a textbook or some kind of resource online that puts all the stuff that I'm working on now together into a very clear, concise place where you could go and read it and go, chapter 1, here's what I have to learn. Chapter 2, here's what I have to do. And maybe I'll do it in video form too, now that I'm talking this out. I think a video form could be an idea where I put together like some French course or Spanish course on YouTube, something to that effect. Not sure if I'll do it as of now. It's something I've just sort of been thinking about, but we'll see if I really move on it. I tend to think about a lot of things. I have a lot of ideas, but I don't always go all in on every single one. Speaking of which, speaking of new ideas, this one I think I'm about 80%, 90% sold. I'm going to make the switch and start going all in. I'm really looking into podcasting. I feel like podcasting is something that's emerging. I feel like people are listening more to podcasts. I feel like people will download and listen to it. So for you guys who drive, like, you might not be able to watch my stuff on video when you're driving. It's just not safe. But if I have an audio version, you could download it and play it in your car or wherever, on your phone when you're on the bus, and just listen to it when you're traveling, when you're commuting, when you're exercising. And so I'm thinking about it, but I know nothing about podcasting, so thinking about it, not sure if that's something I'll really, jump into, but actually I'm pretty sure to be honest, I'm pretty sure I will. I'm just haven't fully gotten there yet. I'm still chipping away at myself to make myself do it. But yeah, that's something that's new as well. Let's look here. Anything else that's really new in my world? I'm happy with myself. I've really started to up the game on Snapchat and Instagram a lot. I'm starting to post a little bit more, which I'm happy about. I talked about last week wanting to do that. Pretty excited about that. Let's talk about some challenges. I'm having some challenges right now as well. One major challenge is that I'm running a lot of different groups in my city for French, Spanish, and Mandarin, Chinese. And the groups are going well. Overall, globally, I'm running them quite well. Globally, it's going well. But there are some challenges that I'm trying to fix per language group. So one of them is consistency. Consistency in terms of attendance, right? One of the tools I'm using to get people to these group events is called meetup.com. It's a website that you can schedule events on and strangers can find you. And I find that people come to an event, but people don't live on meetup.com. People spend a lot of time on Snapchat, Instagram. They're scrolling through and they see it a lot. People are not scrolling through Meetup. Not everyone, right? And so often I get someone in the Meetup group, but they don't see the events, in my opinion, because they're not spending all their time on Meetup. And so I'm trying to funnel them to Facebook, things like that, to get more of their attention. But I haven't figured out how to solve that attendance problem fully yet. I'm chipping away at that. And also just with what to do at events, especially for Chinese, because I'm not fluent, right? And it's hard for me to lead a Chinese language events when I'm not 100% fluent. And it's a challenge I'm having, trying to figure it out, trying to chip away at it, because that's definitely a detriment. It's definitely something that's holding back the growth of the group. Compared to French and Spanish, I'm able to do a lot. I can really be super out there and outgoing about it. But Spanish, a little bit more challenging for me, Chinese, a little bit more challenging, sorry. Also on a similar note, I'm very surprised at the moment the lack of people in Calgary who are wanting to practice French. It's crazy how I have more of a Spanish audience in my city than I do French, which is weird because Canada has French as an official language. So just a random little side thought that I had. But anyway, I think we'll wrap things up there. There's a bunch of other stuff that's going on, but I think overall those are the main things that are new in my world. Hope you guys are doing well. See you guys later. Bye for now.